y'all know this is the start of a new reading vlog. It's day 2 of the biannual bibliothon. So far, I have done no reading for the actual biannual bibliothon. I was in the middle of 2 books before the biannual bibliothon started, and my goal was to finish them before the biannual bibliothon, so that once the biannual bibliothon started, I could read only my biannual bibliothon books. But turns out I did not get to finish those books before the biannual bibliothon. So day 1 was spent trying to finish them, and I finished one of them, and now I still have one left to finish before I can start on my reads for the biannual bibliothon. Going in between starting To Make Monsters Out of Girls or Nimona first, since those are my 2 shortest books on my TBR, I figured I would knock them out first, and then I think I'm gonna start Aurora Rising after I finish those books, since that's the biggest book on my TBR and it's also the group book, so I want to make sure that I do finish it in time for the live show. So that's my plan for now. I still gotta finish the book's non-biannual bibliothon, but hopefully I can finish it soon and get started on the actual biannual bibliothon. It's the next day. I forgot to update yesterday, but I did end up finishing To Make Monsters Out of Girls by Amanda Lovelace. I really loved it. It was such a quick read. I finished it in like 30 minutes. I loved all the illustrations and the poetry was just beautiful. I love that Amanda Lovelace always includes trigger warnings in all of her books. I've never seen that done anywhere for any author, so I really love that she does that. But it does deal with some really heavy topics. Even though To Make Monsters Out of Girls was beautiful, it does deal with being in an abusive relationship and healing from it, and falling in love again, and trust issues, and a lot of stuff. It deals with a lot of stuff, but thankfully she puts all of the trigger warnings in the book itself, which is amazing. Now I finished one challenge. Read a book you meant to read last year. Read a book you were super excited for last year but never read, something like that. So yay, one read! Finally finished all of the books that I had been trying to finish before the biannual bibliothon, so now I can finally start on all my biannual bibliothon reads. And my first book after To Make Monsters Out of Girls is going to be the graphic novel Nimona by Noelle Stevenson. I forgot to grab it, but I'm gonna go read it and listen to the audiobook. The audiobook is only 2 hours long. I have a feeling I can either finish it in an hour or in an hour and a half. So I'm gonna go read it now. It's day 4 of the biannual bibliothon. Excuse the fan, it's hot as hell. Anyways, last night I finished Nimona by Noelle Stevenson. I loved it so much. This gotta be one of my favorite graphic novels I've ever read. This was so amazing. It had such a unique concept while also having a lot of fantasy tropes that I love. This was such a fun read. Like, it was funny, it was entertaining, it was really cool. The magical system was really unique. It just had everything I love in a graphic novel, in a book, and I loved it so much. And also, I'm so happy that I listened to the audiobook because, oh my god, the audiobook added so much to the storyline. Like, I didn't even know that they made an audiobook for this graphic novel, but my friend told me that I needed to listen to it because it was amazing, and it was. You're not gonna miss anything, but the audiobook experience experience while reading this book was so great that I highly recommend you do that. So I basically read this while listening to the audiobook, and that was such an amazing experience. The audiobook had a full cast, music, sound effects. It was so good. I really want them to do a Nimona animated movie and use the audiobook narrators as voice actors, because they did such an incredible job. And also, like, I just want an animated movie of this. I feel like it would be so awesome. I love the art style. Like, it's so cutesy and also realistic. It was 5 out of 5 stars. Absolutely loved it, and I highly recommend it if you love fantasy graphic novels or graphic novels in general. And if you've never tried a graphic novel before, I heard this is the one to start off on. Now that means I finished 2 books for the biannual bibliothon. This completes the challenge of reading a graphic novel, clearly, and then I finished To Make Monsters Out of Girls yesterday, so that completes 2 challenges for the biannual bibliothon done, and then I still have 3 or 4 books left on my TBR. The Aurora Rising audiobook actually has a full cast audio too, and I didn't realize that. And now I'm thinking, like, why didn't I put the audiobook on hold so that it would come in during the week of the biannual bibliothon, so that way I could read and listen, or listen and then read later on. But no, and now I tried to put it on hold and it says you will get it in like 10 weeks because so many people have it on hold. Audiobook is great. All of Amy Compton and J. Kristoff's books have amazing audiobooks. But I guess now that I know that there's a full cast audio for this series as well, when I read the second book, I'll definitely check out the audiobook. But for now, the physical book is all I have. Definitely gonna start Aurora Rising later on. I want to try to finish that as soon as possible because it's the group book and I really want to watch the live show. I got farther into the Writing Test by Helen Huang. I believe I'm 3 hours in the 10-hour audiobook. Oh my god, the audiobook narrator is amazing. The Kiss Quotient audiobook was really good, but it was narrated by a white person, and the Kiss Quotient has a lot of Vietnamese words and Vietnamese characters and names, and I don't know if the audiobook narrator for the Kiss Quotient actually said all of the Vietnamese things right. I feel like she did it. Now that I'm listening to Bride Test audiobook, and I think the audiobook narrator is Vietnamese because it seems like she's saying all of the Vietnamese words right. Granted, I do not know Vietnamese, but they sound right. It sounds authentic. Definitely an even better audiobook than the Kiss Quotient because it feels so authentic. There's a lot more Vietnamese words in the Bride Test than in the Kiss Quotient because one of the main characters is Vietnamese and knows very little English, so there's so much Vietnamese in this book. I'm really happy that they actually got like an Asian or Vietnamese narrator to do this because I don't think anybody else would have been able to do this audiobook justice if they did not know the language. I'm loving it. So I said in my July TBR that the Bride Test was a mail order bride situation, and that's actually incorrect. I believe the synopsis says that, but this happens in the first chapter. It's not a spoiler. That's not what happens. So basically Kai's mom, she goes to Vietnam and she interviews a bunch of women that she loves and she thinks would make great wives for her son, and she chooses her favorite one out of them, pays for her all-expenses trip to America to win over her son. It sounds so outrageous and extreme, but like, it's a rom-com. What do you expect? The woman that she chose is really amazing. She's a struggling single mom and she doesn't know too much English. Very poor and working class in Vietnam. So when she gets this opportunity to go to America, and she's also mixed race, her father is American but she's never met him, she sees this as a chance to try to find her father and learn more about her American roots. She has come to America and she's been living in Kai's house for a few days now, and it's so cute. I love them so much. They're just so perfect for each other and I'm just amazed. I know this is a rom-com, so a lot of stuff are not realistic. I'm just amazed that her mom just knows her son so well that she was able to pick such a person that perfectly complements her son. I just want to listen to it all the time, and I wish I had the physical book so I could read it faster. Tried to find the ebook. If I want to put it on hold, on overdrive, it says 19 weeks. Reading overhyped books is great, except when you try to get a copy from your library last minute.
is not happening. I wish I could have got the audiobook for Rise because I have a feeling I'm gonna finish the Bride Test audiobook like really soon because it's only 10 hours and it's so good. I'm not sure what audiobook I'm gonna listen to after I finish the Bride Test. It's so cute. I love it so much and I cannot wait to read more.
So it's day 6. I kind of failed at reading and vlogging day 4 and day 5. On day 4, I went to visit some of my family and I was at their house for a good portion of the day, and by the time I got home it was really late and I realized that I didn't even finish editing my day 4 challenge video, so I was like frantically trying to edit it and get it posted on time that night, so I literally read nothing on day 4. And then day 5, I finished The Bride Test by Helen Huang. Oh my god, I loved it so much. It was so cute. Once I got to a certain point in the book, I literally could not stop reading, laid down and listened to it for like hours because I just needed to read it so badly. It was so good. And oh my god, one of the weddings that they go to in The Bride Test is Michael and Stella's wedding from the Kiss Quotient, and they had cameos in The Bride Test. I was screaming. Oh my god, the cameos were adorable. 5 out of 5 stars. I adored it. I think I even love it more than the Kiss Quotient. Helen Huang has now become one of my like auto read authors. Now I just want to read all of her books because her writing is amazing, her characters are amazing, and I love it so much. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Comment down below how you've been doing for the biannual bibliothon. I also posted my bookish music video challenge, which is the second challenge I did for the biannual bibliothon. You can go check it out. Social media links are all down below. I turn my books here on my Goodreads. Arrivederci!